Just to live in a place that we can call our own, we have to set aside around 30% of our income. 30%. That's crazy. And it's not like we can just not pay it, because if we don't, we end up getting evicted. But what if there was a way that we could get value back on this huge monthly expense that we have to do anyways? Oh wait, there is the BILT Mastercard. Today, I will be discussing my experience using this card, the BILT Mastercard. I'm going to talk about my personal experience. I'll talk about the benefits you can get by holding this card, and of course, some of the cons that can come if you are holding this card as well. Let's get right into it. First of all, this card is built different. It's awesome. It's super metal, super durable, and it's really fun to throw on the table in front of your friends. It's nice. I would like to point out a couple other things though, because of course, if you are not paying rent, or if you own your own house, for example, this card may not be for you. The main benefit of this card is that it gives you 1 point per dollar spent on rent purchases, which is revolutionary if you're a renter, but not really great if you don't rent, of course. So if you don't pay any rent, you may not need this card unless you just want something to throw on the table in front of your friends. The general categories that will earn you points on the BILT Mastercard are as follows. You get 3x points per dollar spent on dining, 2x points per dollar spent on travel booked through the BILT travel portal, 1x point per dollar spent on rent, of course, and 1x point per dollar spent on everything else outside of these categories. On top of that, on the first day of each month, rent day, all of these point categories outside of rent are doubled. These are really respectable. 6x points per dollar spent on dining, be it just 1 day a month, is really nice, especially on a no annual fee card. On the other days, it's still pretty respectable at 3x points per dollar spent. It's a really nice card to have. Of course, the main benefit is the fact that you get points on rent. But what are the other benefits that you get by holding this card? Because there is quite a bit. First of all, it is a MasterCard, so you get the loads of benefits that come with MasterCards, including no foreign transaction fees, loads of purchase protections, including cell phone and car protection. I'll go ahead and put up a list of various benefits that you get by holding this card. If you feel free to pause the video if you would like to read through some of these over here. Good? Cool. On top of all of these, you do get access to transfer partners. That's right, transfer partners on a no annual fee card. It's really nice. I'll put up a list, of course, of the transfer partners that you get access to. Some of the main ones being World of Hyatt, which is typically only accessible through Chase cards. And if you look up top, you may also see American Airlines. Now try to name me another card that lets you transfer points out to American Airlines. It's pretty nice. A no annual fee card with all of these travel partners, respectable. Of course, all of these transfer partners will let you transfer out points on a 1-to-1 ratio, so you're not losing value when you transfer out. As most of you all know, the best way to maximize the amount of value you get out of your points is to transfer them out to travel partners. But if that is a little bit too complicated for you, say you're just a beginner, you also can use the BILT Travel Portal. And with every point that you redeem in the BILT Travel Portal, you actually get a 1.25 cent per point valuation on your points. So no matter how you spend your points for travel, whether it be to transfer out to travel partners and get a huge redemption value, or just in the BILT Travel Portal, you're getting minimum 1.25 cents per point, which is nice. The main benefit of this card though is that it does earn you points on rent, of course. And as I stated before, it is the only card that lets you earn points on rent. And this comes with no extra fees. You may also be wondering if by paying rent, it hurts your credit score by jacking up your credit utilization. It doesn't. When you get approved for this card, you also get access to a separate sort of checking account through BiltProtect. When BiltProtect is on, it gives you, in a sense, a third-party checking account which connects your actual checking account and your BILT card. So when you go to pay rent, whether it be online through your renter's online portal, or if you want BILT to send out a check straight to your landlord, you can do that as well. The way that it works is BILT will pull funds from your actual checking account, link them to your BILT account, and earn you the points, 1 point per dollar spent. This doesn't touch your credit utilization at all, just gives you free points basically. I will say from my personal experience, typically when you do use BiltProtect, it does show as a pending transaction under your recent transactions on your BILT card. This does not actually go through all the way. It does drop off automatically within a couple days. You are not getting double charged. Don't worry, I was worrying at first, I will say, but it does not actually go through. Another factor with this card that may seem like a con to some people is that you do need to make a minimum of 5 transactions each billing cycle in order to get any points at all on this card. Now, one thing to note is one of those, if you are paying rent, is always going to count towards rent. So you really only need to make 4 extra purchases on this card each month. And honestly, what I usually do is typically on rent day when double points are activated, I'll just go through and make 4 smaller purchases, or go out to eat and make 3 smaller purchases, all with double points activated, and collect the bag just like that. So I know I'm talking up this card like there's only good things about it, but I do want to get into some of the cons that could come with this card as well, because there are some. One of the main cons that come with this card is that they typically, at least from what I understand, they don't offer you any welcome offer when you get approved for this card, which does suck because typically welcome offers are the #1 way to get the most points quickly in a short period of time. Also, of course, the elephant in the room, if you don't pay rent, this card doesn't really offer you too much value. The 3x points per dollar spent on dining is nice, but other no annual fee cards, mainly like the Chase cards, for example, or the Capital One Saver One, will also offer you similar benefits. Also, one big thing to note with BILT points in general with the BILT Mastercard is that they cannot be redeemed for cash back. So all of you guys on Team Cashback are a little bit out of luck when it comes to this card. Because yes, even if you rent, you do get lots of natural points from your spending through your rent purchases, but you can't redeem them for cashback. You gotta be on Team Travel. That being said, let's get on more into my personal experience with this card. I love this card. It is really nice. It feels really nice in my wallet anytime I pull it out and I give it to someone at like a McDonald's drive-through line or something, and I've seen someone's face one time when I gave them the card and they're like, and as I've stated before, and I cannot seem to state it enough, my favorite thing about credit cards is that you get natural points on spending that you'd be doing already. And with rent payments, you literally have no choice. You have to pay rent. So why would I go out and pay $1,500 each month, just throw the money out the door, when this card exists to basically give me free points? Those of us that rent, it really seems like a no-brainer, especially if you're on Team Travel. You get so much value from this card naturally, it really doesn't make sense to not have it, in my opinion, especially since the card comes with no annual fee. Getting more into the user experience, the BILT app itself is actually really nice and interactive in my opinion. You can scroll through the whole main section. It's very interactive, up to date most days with new news that comes out. There's lots of different redemption offers, like I think right now there's one going for like Oktoberfest or something coming up. It's advertising. All of your points are neatly, nicely color-coded and organized into different spending categories, which is actually really cool to look at. And of course, paying your bills are really easy as well. You can do it straight through the BILT app, or I believe through the Wells Fargo app. I personally don't even have any Wells Fargo card besides this one, so I didn't even download the app. I just used the BILT app, and it's really easy to pay any of my bills off. There are also different tiers you can reach if you spend a ton of money on the BILT card each month, either on rent or just on regular payments. Right now, I'm just in the base blue tier. I haven't gotten any higher than that, and honestly, I probably won't realistically with my spending habits. So I can't really speak on the higher tiers, but if you do spend more, there are lots of benefits getting into a higher BILT status. Another thing that I didn't really speak on as much earlier is rent day. Rent day is an awesome benefit. Not only does it give you double points per dollar spent on all purchases outside of rent on the first day of each month, BILT also likes to offer lots of different sort of BILT events on the first day of each month. This month in August, they actually gave a really nice transfer bonus points you get if you transfer out your points to Virgin Red. Anywhere from 75% bonus points to 150 bonus points if you transfer out to Virgin Red, based on your BILT status, of course. And that's really cool. I like looking forward to all the different rent day offers that they'll offer me. It really does feel like BILT is community driven, and they're focused on giving a good experience, a nice interactive experience to their customers. So, who do I think this card is for? Like I said earlier, if you're on Team Cashback, card probably isn't for you. If you don't rent, of course, this card probably isn't for you. But for everyone else, and honestly even some of the Team Cashback people, like I said, if you're paying rent, it's really a no-brainer. There's no annual fee. You get lots of points on probably the most natural spending that you'll ever do on rent, because you have to pay it every month. And overall, I've really enjoyed this card. I use it when I go out to eat sometimes, just as a backup card. There's no foreign transaction fees, so I have really no worry carrying it around. Like I said, it feels really good to hold, and it's really solid. It's really nicely made. Honestly, it's really cool. Overall, the experience has been really nice just using the card, and all the benefits that I've gotten have been really natural. It's really nice. But yeah, I love this card. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys like the BILT Mastercard? I know it's Wells Fargo, and Wells Fargo has its Wells Fargo type issues, but overall the BILT card has been really nice for me. If you guys made it this far into the video, I do appreciate you. If you left halfway through, I know you're not seeing this, but I appreciate you too. I hope some of you guys got some value from this video at least. Just remember, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal experience on the BILT Mastercard. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.